Okay. Now, I want to go a little bit more in the applied direction. We're all practitioners here, right? I mean, some of us have the fortunate benefit also to be researchers, but all of us are practitioners. And so you're dealing with teams all day, every day about their problems and how to stay secure. Now, what do you do? How do you feel when a team says, and this could be any number of our peers, right? In a more and more competitive security market, when they say, or our customers specifically, we can guarantee, right, the security of our code. Trust me, bro, it's safe. I did a great job.
I mean, I really respect that attitude, but we all know that in practice, it's really a very dangerous attitude. Like you can always invest everything on a single line of defense and build it as best as possible. Build a Maginot line that you think can withstand any attack. But realistically,